What's up, everybody? My name's CJ, and for the next 12 months, I'm going to be training for Ironman Coeur in 2023. I want to take you along my journey, share the struggles, share the triumphs, and share the story on how I take on this Ironman. But first, I got to do a run workout. Wow, that was hot. Good run, about 5 miles, easy pace, right on the border of aerobic. But yeah, 8-minute pace for 5 miles, pretty good run. And now I'm gonna go clean up and tell you about the plans for how I'm gonna take on this Ironman. That's better. All right, so for this Ironman, first off, it's not my first rodeo. I've done a couple different Ironmans. This will be my, this will be my sixth attempt. Finished 3, didn't finish 2 of them, of which the last one I didn't finish was Ironman Coeur in 2021, which is why I was so excited that they decided to make next year's race the full instead of waiting another year, because I can't wait to go back. First off, it's a really great venue, really beautiful part of the country. It's a really tough race, and if you're doing Ironman, hopefully you like a challenge, which I do. A lot of lessons learned last time that I intend to address, and not make the same mistakes twice. But ultimately, I want to finish what I started a year ago, and I want to go back and finish this race. So, given that, I want to go over the time that I'm planning on spending on training, given to this race. Obviously, I've got a long build up to the race. It's not for another year, as well as a lot of the tools that I'll be using, and then overall my approach to training and my methodology there. So, let's jump in. Okay, first, the time. So obviously I have a full-time job. I'm a regular, dad, worker. I'm not a professional athlete at all. So time is a constraint, like I'm sure most of you. So right now I've been averaging about 6 to 8 hours a week of training, just doing basic triathlon training, focused on shorter distance things that I can do on the weekends. Nothing crazy big in the last few months. So 6 to 8 hours is my normal commitment right now. And then as I get closer to the race into next year, I'll ramp that up to the 10 to 12 hour range and eventually do some longer weeks right before the race in the springtime next year. So that's the time that I'm looking to dedicate to the race. So obviously that's going to take at least an hour a day. I usually don't build in any type of rest days into my weekly volume, and multiple 2-a-day type workouts where I'm doing either 2 45-minute sessions, 2 30-minute sessions, or maybe 2 hours, depending on how the needs arise. For tools, obviously I've been in the sport for a long time, so I think it's going on 12 or 13 years now. So I've already got the bike, I've already got the right swim equipment, I've got a membership at a local pool, so I'll just doing a lot of pool swimming. Probably won't get too many open water swims in, and that's fine because I'm been racing for a while, so I'm comfortable in the open water. Plus we'll have a wetsuit probably, so the wetsuit adds a lot of safety factor there. Not too concerned. Got a full sleeve wetsuit and a sleeveless wetsuit in case the race dictates that. The tri-bike, a road bike to train on as well, power meter to train by power, heart rate monitor to train by heart rate as well, and obviously running shoes. Fortunately, a couple years ago, I made the decision to go ahead and buy a treadmill. So I've got a treadmill to run at home. I've got my bike on the trainer. I've got some decent roads around here to get outdoors, but that's really gonna be the toughest part for me, is getting outdoors for some long rides on my bike. And then, like I said, getting in the swims at the pool. So that's the tools that I have for my training. And the last piece is the actual approach to the training itself. So as you may have guessed, I'm self-coached. I'm really excited and passionate about the approach to training and the science behind training. And so when I have used a coach in the past, it's more to just prime the pump as far as what to do. I have a hard time following a coach's direction because I like to get in there and play with things myself, which can oftentimes be my own worst enemy in that regards. But I will be coaching myself through this one. I've kind of learned what is good for me, what's the right balance for me, what's the right level of workouts. Obviously, the breakdown between zone 1, zone 2, zone 4, zone 5, whatever, I think that's pretty self-explanatory, and most of the training tools out there will tell you, how to balance your time. obviously triathlon is not that complicated. You got to swim, you got to bike, you got to run. So as long as you're doing enough volume of each of those things, you can complete the Ironman. For this particular Ironman, I'm just looking to complete it. Yes, I'd like to set a PR. Yes, I'd like to, get the most out of my fitness the day of, but really the main thing is to execute the race and have a good, enjoyable experience. In a future video, I want to go into what went wrong last time and what are some of the mistakes I made that I'm going to avoid making going forward. But really, it's about training well to be prepared for the race, having the fitness necessary to complete the distance, and then just executing on that fitness, regardless of the outcome and as far as time, just want to get across the finish line. So that's my plan going in this race. I hope you guys stick around to watch my journey as we go through. I'll update you guys with, how my training's progressing, how I'm stitching it together, a couple races that I'm going to do in the meantime to help build the race ready fitness and make sure that I've got all the kinks worked out and everything ironed out. And I hope to share, my journey with you and the ultimate goal of completing my next Ironman. All right, stay tuned.